We have had our Revel for over a year now.
That's crazy.
Yep. We got it at the end of April in 2022. And now we've gone through the growing pains of it.
Yep.
There's been a lot. But in this video, we wanted to go over everything that we've learned from it, what we fixed on it, and if we would do it again. So it is at around 15K on it total. It's my daily driver too, but mostly for trips. So we're almost due for the first service, which is the service A for Mercedes, which is 20,000. So we're working up to that. Luckily, we've had no like major issues, right? Where we've had to be in the shop for either for the coach part of it or for the mechanical part of it. So that's been great. But we have had a lot of minor issues.
A lot of ones that we were able to kind of fix ourselves, which was nice.
We replaced, so the diesel heater has a fuel pump on it, and we had to replace that ourselves. We called up Timberland and we got one, and we replaced it ourselves. Yep.
We also had an issue with our water pump in the back. We ended up not having to replace it, but we had to fix it and clean it and make sure it was in all good working condition so we could actually get running water again in the van.
We had to fix our solar charge controller. That went bad. Don't know exactly what happened, but we called up Zamp. They sent us a brand new one. That was awesome.
One other minor issue that we had in the Revel was our sink was starting to leak. So underneath where the tubing connects to the actual basin, around there was a cardboard ring, and that was kind of macerated and was degraded to it was non-existent anymore. So we ended up getting plumber's putty and just kind of sealing that and creating a water seal underneath, and that's worked pretty well for us.
Yeah, so and that's been great. And honestly, guys, it's the same thing as having a house. It's any RV that you ever buy, you're gonna have to be consistently fixing, because I mean, we were just on a road down to a mountain town and it was bumpy as all hell, like just shaking everything. So you're gonna have things that happen. You just need to be able to have the tools to fix them and have the patience to fix them.
That's the main thing for sure.
Yep.
So we also had the Carefree awning recall that they're still currently trying to work on. That one we couldn't do ourselves. We had to bring it to a warranty center. And they found a lot of other issues with our awning when they went to go do the initial recall work. So we have to bring it back in to get that finally fixed. Yeah.
And then we also had our ceiling starting to sag. It sounds like so we took it in for the awning, our window, and the ceiling. So our ceiling started to sag around where the max air fan was. It sounded like one of the screws came loose from one of the plywood, so they were able to screw that back in with no issue. Same thing with our window that's on our sliding door, passenger side. The seal on it started to break, and as you might have watching our other video when we were in Reno, it was literally a waterfall at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was really bad. So those are just some of the issues that we've had, minor. We've really been able to fix them all ourselves, so we're not complaining about that. So the KO2s, the BF Good wrench, everybody loves them. I hate them.
The tires,
I've never liked them. They are one of the hardest tires on the market to balance. We did get them balanced, and we still have somewhat of a death wobble when it comes to being over 65 miles per hour. A lot of the highways out here out west are 80 miles per hour. So unfortunately, like, you don't kind of have a choice. We do go slow when it is windy, but other than that, I still want to replace the KO2s, but I also didn't want to chuck out another $1,500 when I know we're going to get the suspension, which is going to give us a little bit of bigger lift.
We can get a tad bit bigger tires. That's a lot of words all put together.
So that's what we plan on doing, at least with the tires.
For our bed, the solution that we found right now, I know we've talked about it a couple times before on our channel, but we ended up getting rid of the stock mattress that the Revel comes with and replacing it with a Roam Rest, the softer version of that mattress, and then we kept that 3-inch latex topper on top. and that's been working probably pretty good for us since we did that. We've slept on it 3 times, and it has been much better than the previous versions. So I think that's a good fit for us.
Yeah, and for reference, we're side sleepers, so we're on our hips and shoulders a lot. So that's why we needed something softer than what the stock could give us with just the latex. And then you guys might have seen in our other videos that we did add a molly panel to the bathroom door inside of it. So that way we could add some more storage, which is nice because then we had room for more paper towels and toilet paper, and it frees up your pantry. But then we also were able to add a laundry bag on there as well too. So that way it's not that big of a deal in taking up one of our totes that are above the head bin there, where we have to put dirty laundry in there. So that's great adding that on there.
Yeah, we had a lot of different fixes for storage. The Revel comes with a decent amount of storage, but just kind of fine-tuning it to where you need things to be and where it's convenient for you is kind of what we did.
Yep.
Yeah. In the shower, we also ended up sticking on 3 like big pump bottles for our shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. That's been really nice instead of fumbling and slipping and losing little bottles that we were doing, little travel size ones. That was a disaster. And those have stayed on there in the Arizona heat. They have not made a lot of noise. It's been really great. Yeah.
Yep. And then one of the first things we kind of did was we added the organizer to the back seat of the passenger chair, and that gave us a lot of room for knickknacks. So like our chargers, our knives, our flashlights, medicine. We can throw all of that in there, all of her doggy leashes and her stuff that we can access right there from the door, from the sliding door where we hook her up. So that was honestly a great way of storage and improving that, and that's really helped us too. So a lot of people ask like if we, would we buy the Revel again? Absolutely, 100%. It was the perfect rig for us. We know Storyteller's another big competitor, but for us, when we looked at it, we really liked having the idea of having a fixed shower. That is the one thing. We love having the cassette toilet. Yeah, it's kind of gross, but I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I could really care less about dumping it. It's honestly not been bad. You've killed me once.
Once.
You almost made me throw up once, and it was her. She had spicy diarrhea.
Oh, that was so bad.
So, that's just a fact of life, though. Like, that's just how it is. If you don't want to do that, then make sure you get a black tank. I don't know what to tell you. But for us, hands down, we would do it again because of the fact that it's taught us so much. It's taught us to be really handy with fixing things that we didn't think we could fix. Wouldn't trade that experience for anything. It's been a pain in the butt. Absolutely. It's just, especially when we were on that 2,300 mile trip, that was hard.
Yeah.
But other than that, wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, it's definitely been worth it. It really helps us be able to want to get out, even if it's just for one night over the weekend, because the van is there, it's pretty much ready, and it just makes it so much easier for us to go and do what we love doing.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. With that being said, would we probably buy the van now that we've had it for a year? Probably not, because one of the things we discussed was when we were looking at all the different builds in the beginning was potentially building our own. And I'm really glad we didn't.
Yeah.
Because what we thought we wanted when we bought the van is not what we think we want now. Being in there, having that experience in the van, the layout, the things we like, the things we don't like, it really gave us a really solid idea of what we want to do in the future if we do end up building one.
Yeah, absolutely, because then you can add your own flair to it, because obviously the Revels and the Storytellers, they're all a little bit like all built the same, and obviously people like to customize them, but I think we'd go with a tad bit longer wheelbase.
Yeah.
But other than that, we didn't have the time, right, to build these things. I think the reason why everybody always complains about the price is like the time and labor that is built into these things. I see people take a year to 2 years to build them out, and we work full time. That's just not feasible for us. So for us to be able to go out and do what we do now and really enjoy it, not going to complain about that. But if we have the spare time and the extra money to build out a van, great, we might do that at some point. But we love what we have, and we're going to use it to the best of our abilities and make sure that we run this thing into the ground.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. If you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe. We're coming out with videos weekly, and we will see you on the next one.